saying? I've been in prison, you know what I'm saying? I done been out, you know what I'm saying? Freedom is better. You know, get a job. It's good to have a job because you can buy things that anything. You don't have to steal. You don't have to steal because you got people who love you, who give to you. You got good hearts out there in the world that are passing on.
The whole concept of the Walking One Stop originally came about in the 2008 South Florida anti-gang summit, where the recommendation was to put one-stop social and economic service centers in the neighborhoods that had high incidence of violent crimes.
For real though. What's it like though? Keep it 100. I'm from Overtown, Liberty Square. Yeah, man. I ain't trying to tell no lie from the parking lot. Yeah, you do right. How you think you can make it real? How did you feel nobody's system?
Like something bad, I couldn't do nothing about it. So, it is what it is. It's the hood, like you said. If you ever been in the hood, it's the hood.
But in 2008, South Florida was experiencing a housing bust, so the municipalities, they didn't have revenues to be able to start new initiatives or expand initiatives. They were just trying to balance their budgets because of the loss of property tax dollars. So by the grace of the Almighty, we said, why don't we take those one-stop centers to the doorstep of crime survivors, right there in the neighborhood where the incident took place. Because in the past, what we found was that there are a lot of services, social and economic services to be able to be provided to residents, but people weren't taking advantage of those things. They did not even know, where those cubicles were, where those services were being provided. So what we did was we started to take it to community centers, right there in public housing. And people weren't coming across the street to access those services. So we said, well, you know what? Why don't we just take it to the doorstep? We'll bring all the resources of the federal government, state government, local government, right to the doorstep. And it really satisfied two purposes. One, it provided access to services and resources for residents in the challenged areas that were otherwise not accessing those services. And then it also took people that went to grad school with the intention of changing the world, and they found out that they got stuck in a cubicle downtown, and the people were coming to their cubicle. So by bringing the cubicle to the doorstep of the residents, it then reinvigorated those MSWs and the probation officers and the activists to really achieve what they had originally had intended. So it became an exercise of the heart. Don't be fooled by the name Walking One Stop like, it's a march or a vigil. It's not. It's an ultra community collaborative that results in collective efficacy on bringing everything that the government and non-governmental agencies have to bear right on the neighborhoods where we have high incidence of violent crimes.
I ain't trying to tell no lie from the parking lot. Yeah, you do right. How you think you can make it real? How did you feel nobody's system? Back to, would you mind just your name? Because you do live here. So. While you writing it, just leave me with at least one or how many things you think that we could do to make it better for a brother to survive in your family.
It's powerful. When the Walking One Stop, we start at the local police station that serves the area that we're going. We do a little briefing, for the walkers. The police give a little briefing about the area that we're going to. They explain the incident that prompted the Walking One Stop to go to that neighborhood. and we do some role play so new walkers can see how we react with residents on the street. We line up, you know, after maybe a half-hour briefing, we line up and with police escorts, lights on, sirens going, blocking off the streets, the whole 9 yards. We go into the neighborhood where you know, the violence has been taking place. Now, some people may be intimidated by that, but our number one priority is the safety of the residents and the safety of the walkers. If you see anything, you smell anything, you hear anything, you feel anything that gives you any concern, then let's go the other way. We're going to break up into groups once we get on site at the location. So stay with your group, do not separate from the group. Your safety is our number one priority. We'll have water. If you need water, grab some water. You don't want anybody, you know, getting faint out there. It's going to be a little bit warm, but it's a beautiful day today. So when we come in, it kind of numbs the area. You know, bear in mind, a drive-by shooting just recently took place in the neighborhood that we're going. So we want to kind of numb the area so that we are able to go in and come out safely. Now, we've done nearly 60 walking one stops. We've never had a single incident. And, you know, I think what we're doing is working. The key thing is to stop the shootings and homicides. Now, the walking one stop in itself does not stop the shootings and homicides long. We have found that for about 6 weeks, the shootings and homicides subside. But there's a need for the community to step up and say, okay, let's keep it this way. So walking one stop is kind of like puts the fire out, and it allows for the community to regain their hope, regain their spirit, to take the communities back. So there really needs to be a movement ready to, you know, go in after the walking one stop. You know, I guess I hate to use this analogy, but it's kind of like a shock and awe. You know, it's a very poor analogy, but I mean that's kind of what it is. You know, I mean we go in, we kind of numb the place down, we provide the services, we restore hope, we let people know that we care about them.
Yeah. What's it like though? Keep it 100. I'm from Overtown, Liberty Square. Yeah, man. I ain't trying to tell no lie from the parking lot. Yeah, you do right. How you think you can make it good? How did you feel about this system?
Like 10 minutes ago, you know, I couldn't do nothing about it. So, you know, it is what it is. It's the hood, like you said. If you ever been in the hood, you know it's the hood.
You know, yesterday we did a walking one stop in Florida City. Congressman Corbello is in the neighborhood where a 19-year-old girl just got murdered, and he's knocking on the door in the hood saying, "I'm your congressman, how can I help you?" I mean, it's unheard of. You know, I've been all over this country. I've seen programs come and go, and I've seen a lot of them. And I've never seen anything like the walking one stop. The impact that it makes on the neighborhood and on the walkers themselves, you know, to reinvigorate that MSW that's trying to, you know, reconnect with their purpose. You know, they're one that got caught up in the cubicle having to, you know, complete case notes up to here. You know, all that probation officer that really thought that they might make a difference, you know, but they're stuck, you know, also doing, you know, case notes. And, you know, I mean, it's not what people intended. So walking one stop, it's an exercise of the heart. It's a mean of providing access to federal, state, and local resources, you know, to residents in the most challenged areas.
I'm with the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office, Community Outreach Division, and we are here at the Florida City Walking One Stop, and we're here to assist folks with any questions they may have regarding any seal and expunction of records, child support inquiries, and victim or witness compensation. So mainly those things, and any of the questions, any of the legal matters that somebody may have that just feels that the State Attorney's Office may have some advice or for them.
You know, we as social workers, per se, we may know about how to get free daycare, or we may know how to, you know, access, you know, free GED services. Well, a lot of residents, they don't know that. And so when we come in, immediately you see results in the delivery of the services and resources into communities. One man that we in Little Haiti neighborhood, he comes to the door, or we come to his door, and he answers the door with this little baby, maybe 2 years old, and he can't work because he's got to take care of the baby. So we let him know he's got child care available to him free. Changed his life, just like that. Now he can go to work. The child can get, adequate, child care during the daytime. It's very transformative. So our hope and expectation is that the Walking One Stop can be scaled up throughout Florida, throughout America, and we were talking with some folks from the U.S. Army yesterday that the possibility of scaling it up overseas, also in places like Somalia and other places where they're traumatized by violence. So this is what our hope is. We're very excited. We're fortunate to have Bridget Butler from Common Justice out of Brooklyn, New York, down to join us for the Walking One Stop in Florida City yesterday, and working with Californians for Safety and Justice, Survivors for Justice, all over the country. It's exciting, and we're very pleased to be a part of a movement that is seeking to come with new justice priorities that are more in line with the people of color and everybody needs in their neighborhoods.